Hi everyone, it's Maura Eliza and I'm going to read a book to you. The name of the book is The Little Red Hen. When I'm finished reading the book, I'm going to ask you the following questions. Where did the story take place? Who are the characters? What was the problem in the story? And what was the solution? I'm going to start off by telling you that The Little Red Hen is a book that was written a long time ago, and we don't really know who the author is. It's called a folk tale. So we say that the author is unknown. People would tell their children, and their children would grow up and tell the same story. And it was written such a long time ago. So Lucinda McQueen, who's the illustrator, wrote down the words as she heard them and illustrated it. And now we're going to start The Little Red Hen. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen who shared her tiny cottage with a goose, a cat, and a dog. The goose was a gossip. She chatted with the neighbors all day long. The cat was very vain. She brushed her fur, straightened her whiskers, and polished her claws all day long. The dog was always sleepy. He napped on the front porch swing all day long. The little red hen ended up doing all of the work around the house. She cooked, she cleaned, she washed the clothes, and took out the trash. She mowed the lawn and raked the leaves, and even did all of the shopping. One morning, on her way to the market, the little red hen found a few grains of wheat. She put them in the pocket of her apron. When she got home, she asked her friends, "Who will plant these grains of wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will plant them myself," said the little red hen, and she did. When the grains of wheat began to sprout, the little red hen cried, "Look at the wheat I planted. Look, the wheat I planted is coming up. Who will help me take care of it this summer?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will take care of it myself," said the little red hen, and she did. All summer long, she cared for the growing wheat. She made sure that it got enough water, and she hoed the weeds out carefully between each row. By the end of the summer, the wheat had grown tall. When it turned from green to gold, she asked her friends, "Who will help me cut and thresh this wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will cut and thresh it myself," said the little red hen, and she did. When all the wheat had been cut and threshed, the little red hen scooped the wheat into a wheelbarrow and said, "The wheat must be ground into flour. Who will help me take it to the mill?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will take it myself," said the little red hen, and she did. The miller ground the wheat into flour and put it into a bag for the little red hen. Then all by herself she pushed the bag home in the wheelbarrow. One cool fall morning, not many days later, the little red hen got up early and said, "Today would be a perfect day to take some bread. Who will help me bake a loaf of bread with the flour I brought home from the mill?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will bake the bread myself," said the little red hen, and she did. She mixed the flour with milk and eggs and butter and salt. She kneaded the dough and shaped it into a nice plump loaf. Then she put the loaf in the oven and watched it as it baked. The smell of the baking bread soon filled the air. It smelled so delicious that the goose stopped chatting, the cat stopped brushing, and the dog stopped napping. One by one, they came into the kitchen. When the little red hen took the freshly baked loaf of bread out of the oven, she said, "Who will help me eat this bread?" "Oh, I will," said the goose. "And I will," said the cat. "And I will," said the dog. "You will," said the little red hen. "Who planted the wheat and took care of it?" "I did." "Who cut the wheat?" "Who threshed it and took it to the mill?" "I did." "Who brought the flour home and baked this loaf of bread?" "I did. I did it all by myself, and now I'm going to eat it all by myself." And that is exactly what she did. So, if you remember, I asked you some questions before I read the book. So I have the title written down, The Little Red Hen, and if you noticed, I underlined it because that's what you do with book titles. Again, I wrote that the author is unknown, but the illustrator is Lucinda McQueen. So, where does the story take place? It takes place in a cottage. And if I had to guess, I would tell you I think it's on a farm, because where do hens live except on a farm? Who were the characters? I'll give you a second to answer out loud. The characters were the little red hen, the goose, the cat, and the dog. Now, what was the problem? Go ahead, you can all answer together. I think the problem was that no one helped the little red hen with anything. So how was the problem solved? Again, I think that the problem was solved. The little red hen ate the bread all by herself because no one helped her. So I want to ask you a question. And you can tell your mommies, your daddies, your brothers, your sisters. This is a thinking question. Do you think the little red hen was right to eat the bread by herself? Over the years, I've gotten a lot of different answers. Some children think that she should have shared the bread. Others think she did the right thing because no one helped her with the wheat and with the bread. There is no right answer. It's what you think. And I want to add one more point. I read this book today because tomorrow you're going to hear a book that's very similar to this. And the teacher who reads it to you is going to ask you to compare The Little Red Hen with the book that she's reading.